Now, Kellyanne Conway is back, and she was on Good Morning America to defend Donald Trump Jr. after he admitted that, yeah, he was going to collude with a Russian national in order to get information to hurt Hillary Clinton. Now, again, this is where we're starting an attempt at collusion for political gain. Now, she was doing an interview with George Stephanopoulos about this, and he starts out by first saying, or laying out the fact that there was a meeting with this Russian lawyer that was predicated on her having information helpful to the Trump campaign. That's what happened. So let's start out with the fact that there is a meeting in the first place. That in itself, just having a meeting is fine. It's great. Long as you disclose your meetings, that's fine. Now, the problem is that for months, Kellyanne Conway had denied that there had been any contact between the Trump campaign and any Russian nationals that might have been working on behalf of Vladimir Putin. Now, the first video we have is Kellyanne Conway flatly denying these meetings in the face of, well, first she denied the meetings earlier, and then later on came out to justify them after she was shown evidence of her denying the meetings earlier in the year. Let's watch.
Absolutely not. And I discussed that with the president-elect just last night. Those conversations never happened. I hear people saying it like it's a fact on television. That is just not only inaccurate and false, but it's dangerous.
Does the president-elect...
And it does undermine our democracy.
It did turn out to be a fact. So who misled you, and why did Don Jr., Jared Kushner, and Paul Manafort allow those public denials to stand for so many months?
So as I understand it, George, some of the disclosure forms have been amended since that time and to reflect other meetings, including this one. I think that Tom Yamas, your colleague, put it best. He said that these were vague and ambiguous statements, that Don Jr. was not aware of the lawyer's name before he got there, and that the conversation quickly changed to what seemed to be the entire purpose of the meeting for that woman, which was Russian adoption. No information was received that was meaningful or helpful, and no action was taken. There was no follow-up whatsoever.
I mean, hey, man, once we got caught, we amended the disclosure forms. What's the big deal? It's not like we got anything out of this meeting, especially. What's the deal? No, the whole point is he did go to a meeting to get dirt on Clinton in the middle of a presidential campaign. And then they lied about the meetings. And they said, absolutely, we had absolutely no meetings. Not only is that false, that is dangerous. Those are her words, man. Not my words. I didn't say it. Now, of course, here's what she said about that later on.
So there's no evidence of collusion.
You're changing the subject here. Let's go back to the original question.
No, I'm not. This is the subject. Is there collusion? Yes or no?
Number one, why did the administration allow these denials to stand for so many months?
The people involved in the meeting could answer those questions better for you. But as I understand it, George, people's disclosure statements have been amended to reflect meetings such as this. And Don Jr. came forth this weekend and gave more information about the meeting. He also made very clear
after denying
that
it,
no information that was meaningful and helpful was gained from this. We have many different meetings in a campaign. Some of them are unhelpful and not particularly meaningful. But I'm sure you can relate to that.
But Kellyanne, that's beside the point. He was seeking the information. He was seeking the damaging information. That's why he had the meeting. How is that appropriate?
George, he was told that there would be information that may be helpful to the campaign. There was no such information. But again, I want to ask you a question. If we're going to keep using the word collusion, where is the evidence of collusion?
Where is it indeed? Well, look, in this case, this isn't a yes or no question. So Kellyanne Conway, she knows what she's doing when she's saying, is there or isn't there a yes or no question? No. It's about the question of intent. Donald Trump Jr., he went to that meeting wanting that information. He didn't get it, so no, it technically is not collusion. If there actually was information, then yeah, it would be collusion, okay? Now, it also says that he is open to that collusion. Had this person had the information she promised, yes, it would have been collusion. And basically Kellyanne saying, well, it's not, it didn't happen because she didn't have what she wanted. That information turned out to be not usable or non-existent. Now, think about that. Right. Well, I intended to do that, but since they didn't have what I wanted, I guess I didn't do it. So I didn't do anything. Right. It's sort of like, this is probably going to be a bad analogy, but it's sort of like rolling up to a bank that emptied its vault. Right. Now you have the intent of robbing it. So you got your gun, you're threatening to tell her, and then you find out, oh, there's no money in the there's no money in the safe. Well, I'm just gonna go home then. I didn't rob the bank. They didn't have any money, so what could I rob? No crime here. Well, that's sort of weak sauce, really. Add in, of course, that they lied about the meetings, denied them until, oops, they actually re-rolled some tape, and actually had Trump Jr. in his defense saying, hey, man, look, I did go to this meeting. I didn't disclose it, but it was about adoption, except that it wasn't about adoption. Actually, they said they had dirt on Hillary Clinton, and then, oh, my God, this just got bad for me, didn't it? Either this family is incredibly arrogant, or they have absolutely no idea what they're doing, or maybe both. As for Kellyanne, to have to defend that takes a special kind of person. The kind of person who's pretty good at spreading alternative facts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.